All right, guys, I thought today we'd do a video more on the Kali knife work, empty hand versus knife, but I want to kind of dispel some things. You know, of course, with the internet, you got a lot of, talk and trash talk and all that kind of stuff, and people analyzing a video they see and then, calling bullshit on it or something like that. So a lot of times what happens when we look at, techniques, empty hand versus knife, we're missing a whole context. I've had videos out there and people are immediately critical of saying, why are you fighting a guy with a knife, empty hand, et cetera, because they're missing the whole entry to a seminar where I say absolutely the last thing you want to be doing is fighting anybody with a weapon, period, B, empty hand or unarmed against somebody with a blade, right? Even if you have a firearm, like, you're not guaranteed any success or dominance. They've already shown that the knife can be the more deadly of the two, depending on your skill set, of course, and the distance and all that stuff. So that we already understand. Like, this is not a context we ever want to be in. Right off the bat, do everything you can to not engage somebody with a blade. If you can't run, try to find something to kind of neutralize, as we say. Maybe I can pull something out, throw at them. You got to fight ugly and dirty and try to evade if you can and get away. Secondly, we don't, even though we like, as Kali practitioners, we love the art, we love to train the attributes, train the techniques, learn the systems, learn disarms. It's good for our brain, it's good to know. But the reality of a knife engagement, you don't want to be defending, right? You need to destroy this person, right? To put it subtly. I need to put more damage on him than he can on me. Right? So I need to take out the eyes. I need, if I can't, take out the knees. I have to have target acquisition, it's called. What can I do to damage him more than he can do damage to me? So even though you'll see these drills, right, where I might be going in here and moving like this is not tactical. You don't want to be doing this. This is developmental. This is to help, again, develop the skills, right? The reality is ugly of a knife fight. So if I have to engage a guy with a blade, I want to be taking out things as much as I can. Maybe I get cut, probably will. But if I can take out his eyes, take out his throat, do damage to his limbs, that's what we're looking at, right? And so we start from a paradigm of higher percentage targets, which would be his eyes, his throat, his kneecap, and then maybe the joints if we can get to, etc. Okay, so that being said, when we're looking at some of these techniques, I saw some critique of a very common disarm that you'll see in our system where he's got what's called the Bakal grip, and they were demonstrating this where they're inside and they're hooking it down and then stripping it like that. Now, the person that was sort of dissing that technique wasn't wrong. This by itself is not very strong. Even if he doesn't have the edge on the inside, maybe it's a single edge blade, it's on the outside, his power, if he's striking with power, is going to continue. It's going to be hard for me to stop that, or it'll pull down, right? The gross motor skills like that will probably take over against this structure. What they're missing, though, is that first of all, we don't want to be here anyways. We don't want to be blocking. What we're really trying to do, again, is not just this, it's this hand, right? When he's striking, bang, I'm going into the eyes. Right? I need to disrupt his base. I can't make it easy for this guy to operate. So I don't want to get stabbed, but if I have to engage this guy with the blade, I'm going in my palm, fingers in the eyes, on the throat, whatever I can get. Now it's a lot easier for me to possibly engage that blade and take it out. But if he's in a strong structure and I'm going like this and trying to, no way. So I have to cause damage as much as possible. Then I can maybe look at my disarm, right? But that's always a last ditch result, right? Like end of the priorities. Damage the guy first, then you look for the disarm. And so again, this is like misunderstood so much when people are analyzing videos, right? And I understand it. What we look at, if we're engaged, he's got that grip here and he's hacking down at me. If possible, I want to get off the line. That's my first priority, is if I can parry that. But look I'm not just doing that, because he's just going to come right back at me. So if I get off that line, I'm immediately in his eyes. Here, if we turn around real slow, when I go here, look, eyeballs here like this. I'm going after his eyes. Now I could break the arm this way, here like this. Maybe stick the knife back into him, maybe get my disarm, but it's all contingent with me hitting him and hitting high priority, high probability targets, the eyes. Maybe take out the knee, hammer fist, right? So Panantukan comes from these weaponry situations, right? Where I'm disarming or engaging the weapon, not only just the motion, but tactically. So when we're training, okay, one of the drills that we were doing is to get that outside parry, but then we have a contingency. If we are not able to engage, we're blocking here. Again, we're trying to use the outside of the forearm so that if I get cut, it's there. Then he goes on the high line and I'm picking it up here like this, and then I'm passing it over. But we also have to be able to go the other way with this hand and then use this hand to block, and then this hand, and then this hand to move. Or we have to just be able to do one hand because maybe that hand got cut, or one hand here, right? So again, this is attribute development, not tactics. Each moment it could be a tactic, but when we train, we want to flow. We want to continue to look at contingency plans. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these videos, right? Most of the people teaching them aren't dumb, right? We know that this is very dangerous. We don't want to deal with it. But if I have to engage a guy with the blade, I got to do damage to this person, make it hard for them to operate. I'm not sitting there trying to, and then, okay, wait, stop. And then, you know, that's just not how it works, right? So these drills, again, more designed to develop attributes. The other thing that people miss out on is they only see the technique in and of itself. They miss the drills. We want to spend a lot of time drilling, tapping, right? We tap, we don't block. It's not about a block. Like I said before, that's what's really going on. We want to intercept, we want to cause damage. Maybe I just keep going after him. I take a few cuts, but this guy's now out of the picture. So I just wanted to kind of go over that and discuss that a little bit, that, you know, because you see that a lot where people will see, they'll miss the context of what they're looking at when it comes to kali or knife work, right? We know that it's a brutal situation and you really got to cause damage. I hope people know that. But the training, you know, get into the training. We love the training. Start adding those things to your technique. So every time I parry, I hit his eyes, hit his eyes, hit his eyes. As long as you got a good training partner, you got good control, you can start doing that. So anyways, guys, I hope you like that. See you next video.